Hey everyone, it's Asia Dang. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. Today we have another budget video. There's a lot to discuss, so let's just jump right on into it. Though non-budget related, I bought myself a calculator and I have zero regrets about it. Calculators are coming back. So this month was another thankfully successful month. Again, because January and February were really good, I feel like March is going to be a huge disappointment because all of my paychecks have been mostly paid, which is good and bad. Again, I have these highs and low months, so I prefer personally to kind of just have more even months. I'm grateful that we had a very successful month because big things happened this month, but as always, it makes me very, very nervous about the months to come. Speaking of this large budget, in the next couple weeks, I'm actually uploading a video about me reacting to my very, very first budget video ever. That is going to happen probably in like 2 weeks. It was really enjoyable to watch me build my very first budget. There are definitely things I would have done differently, but it's also kind of like funny and weird to look back at the position I'm in now financially versus then. And I don't know, it's just really cool. So I know these larger budget months are not realistic and might be like very discouraging for a lot of you, but just remember that I wasn't always like this. So I hope if anything, these type of budgets, these big month budgets, inspire, like motivate you in some way versus make you feel discouraged. Cause that's like obviously the last thing I want to do. And that's kind of why I stopped doing these budgets. What I tried to do was delete Postmates. That's what I tried to do. So I think we might have Postmated like a couple times this month, but yeah, I think my problem mostly is the Postmates because I get like lazy cooking. But anyways, we had some beauty things. I cut my hair a little bit more. This month, like in terms of schedule, was pretty busy. I think because I'm anticipating something that we're gonna do in March, but we'll get to it in a bit. Here we go. Okay, so let's focus on this. Oops. So we went to Houston in the month of February. You can see Ototo there. We have Egg House. We have Sunday Press. If you're familiar with Houston, you should know those restaurants. Ototo was really good. Very expensive, but it was very delicious. Sushi. And then we have transportation to the Rockets. We had to lift to the airport. We had boarding again with the dogs for, I think we were only there for 4 days, $484. Okay, so we'll talk about Beyonce in a bit, but I guess we'll talk about what we did in Houston. And I'm gonna go more in depth about this in a later video. I don't wanna talk about it now because I think it deserves its own financial video, but Brian and I bought a house. Finally! We bought a house in Houston that we're gonna live in for a little bit. So we're gonna move out of our place here temporarily. It's confusing. It's a whole thing. Ultimately, we bought a really cute bungalow in the Heights area, and I'll talk about all the financial breakdowns. You'll see a little bit right here, but we're going to live in it for maybe 1-2 years. And then once everything is renovated, we are going to Airbnb it out. Simultaneously, we're going to try, our lease isn't up here until June. So what we're going to do and test out the waters is we're going to peer space our place until the lease is up. And if it tends to be successful, if we can at least break even, we're going to renew our lease here. So peer space is basically like Airbnb, but for photo shoots and video shoots and like sometimes events. There is no overnight stays, but Brian and I use peer space a lot for our videos. Like Brian does his choreography videos that he peer spaces out all the time. I will peer space photo shoot locations and all that stuff. So we're very familiar with peer space, and we think that our place right here, hold on, let me adjust this. I was a little far, but we think our loft here is actually a really great peer space opportunity because obviously I've been shooting here, Brian shoots here, Brian rehearses here, so dancers can rent out our space. So we're going to Pier Space, our loft, just the first floor for the next 2 months, starting in April, so April, May. And then hopefully by then it'll give this location enough time to breathe and see how successful it can be as a Pier Space. And if it is successful, we are just going to renew our lease and then continue to Pier Space this out. So we have a place to come back to when we travel to and from Houston. And there are actually quite a few. There's 3 other lofts in our complex that Pier Space, their lofts out, but ours is kind of cuter and larger and just more aesthetically pleasing. There are obviously things that we need to change, but yeah, we have like a couple weeks to do that before we... So big news, surprise, we bought a house. We are moving to Houston for a little bit and we're Pier Spacing our location apartment. The whole process of purchasing was actually very simple and easy and stress-free, considering a lot of the stories that I've heard from my friends and acquaintances about house purchasing in current times. But I will tell you this much, and again, I'll do a whole video about it once we kind of finalize all the costs and everything, but 20% ain't enough. So as you see here, you have on top of the 20%, you have your home inspections, your earnest money, your option fee, your appraisal fee. Those are just the beginning. So if you like saved up 20% and you are putting down 20% and have no more money left, in my opinion, you're screwed, because there was no way, absolutely no way that I would be able to so casually give up an extra $6,000, $7,000 on top of the 20% down payment. Fortunately, we were saving for LA houses, not Houston houses. So we had a lot left over in our down payment fund after paying 20%. So paying these other costs wasn't that big of a deal, but no one effing told me about these costs. I'm like, home inspection, $570. Cool. Appraisal fee, is that $780? Fine, maybe. But all these little things stack up until you wake up and boom, $8,000 later on top of the hundreds of thousands of dollars you put towards your down payment. It's just like cuckoo magugu. I'll do a video breaking down all of the costs and explaining our experience home buying in a totally different video, but the cat's out the bag. You know, I've been like dragging my feet moving to Houston because we've been talking about it. But I think what makes it easier for me now is knowing that the end goal is passive income. This is Brian and I's first venture in real estate investing, and hopefully this is just the first of many, and hopefully one day we no longer have to rely on ads. Hopefully one day Brian no longer has to rely on his body to choreograph. So the goal now, I think I mentioned it in my 2023 goals video, the goal now is passive income. I've never renovated before. We've never been homeowners before. So this will be a very interesting experience. Expect more type of those videos over the next few months. But yeah, man, that is where we are. We are very, very excited. You heard it here first. Anyways, let's move on to Beyonce. So Beyonce, you all know, me and Beyonce are hopefully BFFs one day, but she is going on tour. And I didn't mean to buy multiple tickets, but that's what happened because I have different friend groups who all love Beyonce, and I think I like freaked out that I wouldn't get any tickets. So I'm like, you know, if you get through, get me tickets, you get through, you get me tickets. Well, guess what? Everyone got through. Do I hate the idea of going to multiple Beyonce concerts? No, I don't. So that's why I'm still going. And then Brian and I were toying about going to the Beyonce concert in London during our honeymoon because Beyonce in LA is with the girls, Beyonce in Vegas is with the girls, and Brian loves a good concert. He wants to experience it with me. And I'm like, okay, well, let's maybe see what we can do in Europe since we're going to be there and she's going to be there. It's going to be perfect timing. We haven't bought tickets yet because we actually still know what we're doing for our honeymoon, which is like, if we even still have our honeymoon, I even like pitched the idea to Brian, since we are buying a house and need to pay for renovations, maybe we push the honeymoon back. And instead of spending 2 weeks in Europe, we might just spend like 1 week in Europe for the wedding, our friend's wedding. But there's a lot up in the air. Honestly, is there something, are travel agencies still a thing? Because I know I'm like really good at planning my life, but the one thing I'm not good at is planning trips. Some people recommended some places that do that for safaris in Africa. I need that for Europe. Give me that in Italy, Switzerland. That's my vibe. So if you know anyone that can help me out, please let me know. 344. So I spent about almost $1,000 on Beyonce tickets. But if you remember, my sinking fund for Beyonce was $1,400. So sis is under budget for Beyonce tickets, and the tickets. And if we do see Beyonce in Europe, where's that coming out of? Our honeymoon sinking fund, because we will be enjoying it on our honeymoon. So that might be a lot for Beyonce tickets, but sis is still under budget and we love to see it. Okay, so we had to go to Modern Animal, the boys' vets, to get their updated shots. And Luke is a very itchy dog, so he gets a shot called Cytopoint, which actually helps a lot. But Cytopoint is expensive. That's like $80 on top of, I think they had to get 2 updated shots because we were boarding them. And that totaled to, Luke's was $250, Levi's was $219. But again, we have pet insurance and that saved us $135. So, you know, we're entering the phase of expensive dog things because next month or this month, they're going to get their teeth cleaned. And we always do a deep cleaning once a year where they go under anesthesia. They're both very young, healthy dogs, so we're very comfortable putting them under anesthesia for teeth cleaning. And just knowing that the doctors can get like really deep into their teeth because there's a lot of health issues that happen with dogs in their mouth area, especially for smaller dogs because their mouths are so small. It just makes us feel a little bit more comfortable. So this is kind of the time where it's a little bit more expensive because for anesthesia, we have to get their blood drawn. They have to do a full like kind of checkup. And then the cost of the dental without extractions tends to be about $600–700 per dog. That's been what it has been in the past, but who knows? Again, that's why we like pet insurance, and it's worth it for us to spend the money on pet insurance. As you can see, I got paid quite a bit and was able to save up a lot of money into my sinking funds. Total, I was able to put away $11,000 towards my sinking funds, and everything else fell into place. And I'm like all over the place, but we also paid our taxes this month. Obviously, that's not in my budget because that's not a budget thing. That's like a separate thing. And I put aside 30% of my paycheck every month. And I do have money left over that I'm not touching in anticipation of moving and whatever other BS that I have to pay for this house that I'm very excited about. But no one tells you the full story, do they? As you can tell, I'm very mad that I feel like I've been lied to. Anyways, here's the monthly overview for February. Personal accomplishment, we bought a house. Professional accomplishment, we bought a house. Why is it a professional accomplishment? Because hopefully this is step 1 in Brian and I's real estate portfolio, in which we can just continue to earn passive income and no longer have to rely on YouTube anymore. Although I love you and appreciate you, I am not someone who wants to be a mommy blogger. So here are a couple memories and discoveries. So here is a photo of a grilled cheese sandwich that is topped with furikake because I give Brian a hard time because every time he makes a sandwich, it's like bread, cheese, and a meat, but like no mayonnaise, no mustard, no nothing on it. It's very dry and I just like keep on making fun of him. So this was his attempt to be better. And then speaking of Brian, these were his Valentine's Day flowers. Next, this is Ototo from Houston, and this is kind of just showing you that we went to Houston and bought a house. And then here's Lukey and I just like laying down in our bed because LA was blessed with a thunderstorm. I loved it. I love the rain. We need the rain. I just wish that LA County knew how to kind of harvest that rainwater, especially since we're in a drought. And then this is what we have for March so far. Our closing date should be March 10th. So we might I don't know, go there. But ultimately, I want to kind of move out of our place in LA during the last week. So I don't know. We'll see once everything starts happening. But yeah, it is adulting. Yeah, so that is it. That is our monthly budget for the month of February. Big things have happened. I mean, I don't know what else to say besides surprise, but if you've been paying attention at all over the past couple of videos, you know that us buying a house isn't really that big of a surprise. The surprise is how fast it happened. Anyways, I'm really excited to share with you my home buying experience in depth and number transparency again, because people don't be telling you the whole truth, okay, about how expensive home ownership is. But yeah, look forward to that video in the next couple months. Look forward to a moving video in the next couple months. And hopefully another video series that we can do is how much our place made in Pure Space this month. Fingers crossed. The goal is at least $4,000 to cover our rent. But if we can cover rent and mortgage, oh my God, I can just see, this is what gets me excited is, again, passive income. Oh my God, are we here? I really appreciate y'all, because we wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for you and for your support over the past couple years. And also it's crazy. It gives me the heebie-jeebies to think that not too long ago, I had a negative net worth, a 6-figure negative net worth, you know? And then already after the appraisal, we have about $20,000 in equity on the house that we bought. So it's just really weird, fun, crazy to think about how life can change in just a couple of years. So again, I know that these budget videos might not seem realistic to you, but honestly, I'm hoping they will be one day. I'm hoping that we all can be making $20,000 a month. I'm hoping I can make $20,000 a month consistently, eventually. So, don't be discouraged looking at these big numbers. If anything, I want you to be damn, Asia can do that? Asia? If Asia can do that, I can do that. Anyways, that's it. I'm Asia Dang. Thank you so much for watching this video. Lots of new and exciting videos and updates to come. I'll see you later. Bye.